Good morning and welcome in, everybody. It's 7:57 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on this Monday, May 5th, 2025. I'm XRP Future Millionaire, and I reside in the great state of Michigan. It's my mom's birthday today, too, as well, so happy 63rd birthday to my mom if you're watching. I'll see her later today. But I want to get into the charts. We've had an interesting end to the weekend. Nothing to be surprised about. XRP failed to break past over the weekend. And if you're new, or if you're returning, you haven't been here for a while, in my updates, I've switched to a format where I show it on the big screen. I just mirror my screen. You can see it on my tablet over here. The championship belt right here, which I really, really like. But during the lives, it's still the normal screen recording. You see my face. It's into the tablet. But during my updates now, outside of the shorts, I like to put a slightly different format. And this is like the third or fourth day we've done this. And I really do appreciate this style. So if we look at this, and we're going to take this into the smaller time frame so we can see what's going on in the short term. So yesterday, over the weekend, we talked a lot about the fact that if we did not break past, first area would be this 223, and ultimately we needed to break past this $2.40 to start getting hot. The problem is we started to create these bearish formations, even in the daily time frame. We could see it was starting to look like daily engulfing to the downside. We talked yesterday during the live, and we waited for it to the moment last night at 8 p.m. when this became engulfing to the downside. I said it's going to be ugly, and it's going to be angled down towards 205. And that's the bottom support here. If we weren't able to hold on to that, that's when it opens up this whole big nightmare where we could fall from 205 all the way down into these sections here in the $1.50 FVG. You can see if you line it out somewhere in past June. But another way to look at this is, because we can't get up over the top here, is that we're going to retext this old distribution box. And this box down here is the old distribution. This is the supply zone from prior to the breakout. We could technically retest that supply zone again and see if we have any kind of formidable, buyers down here, which I think the most likely scenario would be to stay in the distribution. But I could certainly see us back testing the supply zone one last time before a parabolic spike. And then if you've been watching, just the way we've been breaking down the Elliott wave a little bit, we're up to 1, down to 2, up to 3, corrective 4. Now, we don't know where it's going to finally break out. But looking at the past history, it suggests it's between 3 and 3.5 years for XRP on prior 5-wave Elliott waves for it to break from the 4th to 5th, or get done from the 3rd to 4th corrective, and then finally able to break out to the 5th. So if we just look at it this way, it brings you way out here. And we have to put it in a weekly time frame to get the actual measurement. But that's like September of 27. You can bring it out farther if you want to do 3.5 years. 3.5 years from January of 24, December of 24, I should say. It brings you somewhere in this range. So, I mean, you're talking about a possible retest of the supply box, but like former supply, and then we ended up getting some distribution, failed in demand, failed in distribution this time around, and came back through. Supply was good, filled through distribution, came back down and filling up. But it looks like, if you're asking me just what I'm seeing, it looks a little bearisher in the weekly. I said this at the end of last week. It looked like it was starting a little weak. And it seems to me that we probably broke out too early, from some of these zones. And not because I want to keep breaking down. It just, to me, feels early. It felt like we needed to come down. I felt like, that we were going to start the week a little scary. That doesn't mean that it's the end of the world. But as you can see, XRP's down to 213.5. We've got Bitcoin right now barely hanging on to 94K. And that's a big deal right now. That's a big deal. It's still got what looks like an inverse head and shoulders trying to line up on XRP. But again, are we going to come down to 205 now and be able to hold that area? We know that the 200-day now is running below. And that 200-day right now is looking at about $1.99. So you're talking about $1.99 to test the 200-day, and it looks like we're hot to that direction. We talked about how in the daily time frame the 50 had crossed the 100, which was our first sign that we are slowly reversing back down. You don't ever want to see that. And then we failed to hold the 20-day, and now it looks like we're going to come back down to it. This could very well turn into a death cross here in the daily in the days to come. It's going to take some work, but we definitely have some hot momentum to the downside. Hot momentum. And, you know, I when we were up here a couple weeks ago, not even a couple weeks ago, that was April 28th. We're getting rejected here. I said, look for the best sell price. Now, and that doesn't mean for XRP necessarily, because I don't like to sell XRP or XRP Healthcare, but for the rest, I kept saying, look for the best deal. And now we're down some 10 to 20% across the board. Some are down like 40% from that statement. And it's pretty interesting how fast this is happening. And today it just looks horrible today. This looks horrible. We had a bearish candle here in the 4-hourly overnight. And now this is an engulfing candle to the downside here in the 4-hourly. So this is looking a little ugly here. Hold on, TT, almost done. So this is looking a little ugly this morning. Here you go, T. Here you go, buddy. So we've got 205 down below. And then if we look at Bitcoin real quick, we'll only do like 10 minutes, and then I got to release this so that my son can get to school. But Bitcoin at 93,946. Yeah, T, you just watching? Tommy's watching us this morning. So 93,942. And for Bitcoin, right now we've got the support structure at 93,136. If it breaks that, then all of a sudden this is going to open up that drop to 88,000. And if we get a drop to 88,000, that's going to be a little bit of an issue because we're going to start to round what looks like a topping reversal. We really wanted to fill this out at 99,600, but we failed. We kind of reversed the top. Could say a shoulder head, now bouncing back down. And we never back tested the breakout in a big way. We did come up here a little bit, came back down to break out. But now we've got 93,136, very firm. And then if we break that, we got 88,586. And then if that doesn't hold, you could find yourself coming all the way back down to here. And that's 77,000 to back test the breakout. And then let's just say this whole thing came apart. Well, then you'd have to come all the way back down here. And that's about 63,671. So that's what can happen. Right now, we're still looking good. We broke out of that descending triangle. We had a technical target up to 99,681 or 631. We managed to get up to 98,275 or 200. Then we reversed back down. Now it's going to be our first layer retest at 93,136. If that breaks, we end up getting a much more volatile spike to the downside. Now, before I leave, one, make sure to look in the video description below and our pinned comments. We've got Bitunix. And that's the lowest spot leverage trading fees, lowest maker taker. And if you are not used to, or if you're used to getting fees, extraordinary fees, Bitunix is going to change your world. Like, I wish I would have known about it before late 23, but I didn't. And it cost me a lot in fees and different exchanges. No KYC or VPN. I highly encourage Bitunix. I highly encourage it. And then last thing I want to look at is the fact that gold is the gold silver ratio is up to 102.19, so silver becomes an even better deal this morning. Gold's up $75 an ounce, as you can see right now. Silver's up 1.34% or 42 cents an ounce. So it looks like gold, silver, mining stocks are going to be hot this week. Fortuna Silver Mines is up 3.04% to start the morning to 611 or up 18 cents in pre-market. First Majestic is up 2.54% or 15 cents to 606 in pre-market. Pan America Silver's up 3.23% or 76 cents a share to $24.30. Silver's up 1.31% or 41 cents at $32.41. We've got B2 Gold back over $3, up 7 cents or 2.38% to 301. We've got Barrick Gold's up 2.77% or 51 cents to 1892. And then Gold's up 75 bucks or 2.33%. We'll talk about this more this afternoon. Have a blessed morning, everybody. I'm going to go finish getting our son ready with Julie and get myself out the door. Have a blessed morning. I hope this update helped. And let me know in the comments what you think about this update style in the mornings. Be blessed, everybody.